I think what's different to what's gone in the past is the expansion of the facility. So there's a lot of new technology available for people to use. Is the staff supporting that technology. So we now have a team of 10 people across the university to support what we're doing. And it's the collaboration, it's the interdisciplinarity. So now we really have strong links with physics and with medicine, and obviously with our base here in the College of Life Sciences. We've got a team of scientists from a range of backgrounds, biophotonics, chemistry, life sciences, and basically they provide tailor-made training.
Undergraduate honor students, join the lab, do a project on a microscope that's only available in a couple labs in the world. They can imagine something really challenging and access the technology and then deliver the experiment. And that is incredibly inspiring. I mean, you can just see their eyes light up when they realize what they're being asked to do and what the opportunity is.
The real attraction is the infrastructure here available for scientists to perform really top-class science in a uniquely collaborative environment. And today is a great demonstration of why that is.
So we have the facility in medicine, a facility in the College of Life Sciences, and then we have a physics and life science lab here, which is a physics lab, but embedded within a life sciences institute.
I have to say I've never had the kind of resources that this place really seems to have. You have a physics department which is very engaged in interacting with live imaging. And I think the way that you try to transfer the new microscopy techniques here by first developing systems and then carefully trying them out in a few experiments and thereafter moving them to your imaging facility seems wonderful.
That's a natural linkage and a partnership where the two entities can really build on top of each other.
So one of the things that we found is particularly attractive for junior PIs is that they have access to this very, very high level of technology. Whereas historically they would have to have quite an established group and an established research track record to be able to access that kind of kit. They have access to the technology just the same as our more established professors. I think the next step for the Dundee Imaging Facility is to explore even stronger links with medicine. So much of what we care about and our basic research is aimed towards clinical applications and trying to provide some kind of solution to the health problems that we face here.
OME is an open-sourced software project. We develop tools that allow access and sharing of large image data sets. The technology is available on the web for anybody to download and use. That's the open source bit. And we have a community of several thousand users worldwide. OME, on the one hand, is several software developers and scientists working together. On the other is this much broader community of scientists, data analysts, certainly software developers, imaging facility directors, etc., all working together to make tools, to make data available and to share data. That's really what we're all about. OME is really two things. So on the one hand, it's this fairly large software project, and if you want to, you can go to a website and see all the software and access all of it. On the other, it's a fairly large group of people actually who are dedicated to this goal of sharing data at scale. We have users all around the world. The sun, if you will, rises on OME, I think in Turkey currently. So they're the first, we have a couple developers there, they're the first to sign on, and all through Europe and the US. And so there's people working on the project almost 24 hours a day at this point, which is a little crazy. It's a group of about 40 software developers, scientists, etc., who are trying to take forward this idea of building technology to access a very broad spectrum of data types that we have to deal with in imaging, to make that data available for essentially any analytic tool that exists, and to make that data available not only for tools but also for scientists, and ultimately when it's time to publish scientific result, make that data available for publication worldwide.
So today is all about having people from the community come into our buildings. We strongly feel that science should be and can be for everybody, so we want to invite them in to see what we're doing, what our research is about, and how we're working to help people and to better people's lives. Just basically having them come in, do some activities and get a hint of what it's like to work here, and also just meeting some of our scientists. We've got loads of different things on. There are games and activities for all the way from very young to very old. We've got tours through some of our lab areas, our research areas, and obviously our brand new building here, the CTIR, to just show what we've put together and hopefully have people get excited about us being here and doing our work. So we've also got a collaboration between some of our students and the Duncan Jordanson's College of Art. We've got comics and activities all about immunization and infection, so that's a very important message to get out there. We've got people from the DDU, our drug discovery unit, running tours, but also doing lots of really interactive chemistry experiments for young people to get them excited about science and hopefully get them thinking about it as a career in the future. We've also got our games corner, which takes, I feel, a very creative approach in explaining some of the more difficult work that we do in the labs to young people through interactive, getting them moving around and running around. We really feel that Dundee is a great community for us to be in, for the College of Life Sciences, and so we want to make sure that the community feels that they like having us here as well.
The World Health Organization estimated that in 2013 there were about 200 million people caught malaria and about 580,000 people died from malaria.
The current anti-malarial treatments that are out there, resistance is beginning to emerge with those drugs. So we need a strong portfolio of new medicines coming through that will replace those.
So the compound was made at the University of Dundee and at the Drug Discovery Unit here. The project was carried out in collaboration with the non-for-profit organisation Medicines for Malaria Venture.
And what we found was the chemical starting point that was further developed by the team.
And as a medicinal chemist, it was my job to try and develop that from a chemical start point into a drug-like molecule.
My main role in the development of compound was just to generate data for in vivo part of the studies.
I have prepared for the first time 498, the clinical candidate, and I've also coordinated the malaria team in the DDU.
As a bioanalyst, I'm responsible for the determination of concentrations of the compound in blood.
But my day-to-day job is to take the compounds that the chemists make and to test them in the whole parasites.
My role is getting the active compounds that the chemists make and testing them to see whether they have the correct properties to make an effective medicine or not.
The compound hits a target that no other antimalarials work by. It actually interferes with some of the machinery involved in protein synthesis.
It's a whole new target family for malaria, so we shouldn't have any resistance in the field to this compound. So this one could really make a big difference all over the world.
In combination with other anti-malaria, it could be used to cure malaria with just one pill.
It also has the potential to prevent somebody getting malaria in the first place, and it has the potential to prevent the spread or transmission of malaria from infected people.
I think if this compound has the potential to treat malaria and reduce the number of lives lost, then I think that makes it a pretty important compound in my eyes.
I will be very happy if this compound be as soon as possible on the market and to see that this is really a very, very promising compound.
It's very exciting, but potentially this compound could end up treating patients in just a few years.
Ideally, it goes out there and helps cure malaria. You know, that's what we're trying to do.
And the idea that I've contributed in some way in potentially treat malaria is very exciting for me.
I'll be very proud to be part of a team that helped develop a new tool for doctors to save lives, particularly children.
You know, my passion is to discover drugs that will make a real difference to humankind. You know, with a child dying every minute, you know, we have the potential with the right molecule to make a phenomenal impact on the well-being of mankind in those countries that are afflicted by this terrible disease.
The Drug Discovery Unit was established not to compete with the pharma industry, but to complement the activities of the pharma industry, and therefore we started off working in the diseases that were not a focus for the pharmaceutical companies globally.
This is a very exciting time to be working in the life sciences, and there's lots of exciting things going on at the borders between different sciences, and the Drug Discovery Unit here at the University of Dundee brings together people from different disciplines, so chemists and biologists and pharmacologists.
Drug discovery is the most communal of human endeavours. It involves a large team of people.
We're very fortunate to work with such a talented bunch of scientists, and there are no barriers between different scientific disciplines.
I think DDU is unique in that we have biologists and chemists sitting next to each other on a day-to-day basis. We can talk about the project whenever we like, we don't have to wait for meetings. On a day-to-day basis, we discuss what the next steps are.
We have all the capabilities of early drug discovery, just like a pharmaceutical company would, but we're still embedded within the university, so we have access to really groundbreaking work as soon as it's done. So it's the best of both worlds, really.
It's unique because we've been able to successfully recruit a number of highly skilled and highly experienced scientists from the pharmaceutical industry who brought that experience into the Drug Discovery Unit, and that enables us to progress compounds and progress programs extremely efficiently.
It's a smashing place where to work because we got a very highly skilled people coming from the private industry.
If you are part of the team which have like a 600 experience in drug discovery, I think you will be really, really happy as well, like I'm happy.
We also have research scientists here who have done a lot of the groundwork. So we don't need to do that ourselves. We know who to come and ask if we have things that need solved.
The thing I love about working at the DDU is that the medical needs of patients are the real focus of everything we do.
Just knowing that in the long run the difference you can make to people's lives all over the world is amazing.
I think that I'm one of the luckiest people who is working with this family and can help the other people in the world.